Hi everybody, it's Miss Connor back with another part of our chapter book for the week, and I've got my buddy Spartacus with me back here, or Sparty as you guys probably know him, and who knows, at any moment he could fall asleep, so enjoy him while he's awake. Today we are going to start with reading chapter 3, and it is called Burr. Hopefully you tuned in yesterday. If not, go back and watch yesterday's video so you can watch chapters 1 and 2. Chapter 3, Burr. Annie, whispered Jack again. No answer. He put his book quietly into his pack. He stepped deeper into the cave. Annie, he said a little louder. Jack stepped on the bones. The wet dog smell grew stronger. He kept going deeper into the smelly blackness. He ran into something. Jack, said Annie, is that you? Didn't you hear me calling? Jack whispered. We have to get out of here. Wait, she said. Someone's sleeping back there. Do you hear him snoring? Jack heard a low, deep moaning. It was loud, then soft, loud, then soft. That's not a person, he said. It's a great cave bear. A booming snore shattered the air. Yikes, said Annie. Go, go, said Jack. He and Annie ran through the cave, over the bones, and out into the falling snow. They kept on going. They ran between fallen rocks and under jagged cliffs. Finally, they stopped and turned around. All they could see was snow and rocks and their own footprints. No bear. Whew, said Annie. That was lucky. Yeah, said Jack. He probably never even woke up. We just got in a panic. Annie huddled close to Jack. Brr, I'm freezing, she said. Me too, he said. He took off his glasses to wipe off the snow. The cold wind blew against his bare legs. Wow, Annie said. Look. She pointed to something behind Jack. What? Jack put his glasses back on and turned around. Under a cliff was a wide ledge. Under the ledge was another cave. Only this cave seemed to have a golden glow. This one looked cozy and safe and warm. Chapter 4, Cave Kids. Jack and Annie crept to the cave and peeked inside. A small flame danced from the bed of glowing coals. Near the fire were knives, axes, and hollowed-out stones. Animal skins were neatly stacked against the wall. People must live here, said Annie. Maybe it's the home of the Cro-Magnons we saw, said Jack, looking around. Let's go inside and get warm, said Annie. Jack and Annie moved quickly to the fire and warmed their hands. Their shadows danced on the stone wall. Jack pulled out his Ice Age book. He found a picture of a cave. He read, Cro-Magnons made many things from plants, animals, and stones. They made flute-like musical instruments from mammoth bones. They made ropes by braiding plant fibers. They made axes and knives from stone. Jack pulled out his notebook and pencil and started a list. Cro-Magnons made bone flutes, plant ropes, stone axes, and knives. Ta-da, said Annie. Jack looked up. Annie was wearing a coat. It had a hood and long sleeves. It went all the way down to her sneakers. Where did you get that, said Jack. From that pile of furry skins, said Annie, pointing. These must be their clothes. Maybe they're being mended. She picked up another coat and handed it to Jack. Try one. It's really warm. Jack put his backpack and towel down on the hard dirt floor and he slipped into the coat. It did feel very warm and soft. We look like cave kids, said Annie. Squeak! Peanut peeked out of Jack's pack, lying on the floor. You stay in there, said Annie. There's no teeny coat for you. Peanut vanished back into the pack. I wonder how these coats are made, said Jack. He turned the pages in the book until he found a picture of a Cro-Magnon woman sewing. He read, Cro-Magnons scraped reindeer skin with flint rocks to make them soft. They used bone needles to sew the skin together for clothing. Jack added to the list, reindeer skin clothes. I hope the cave people won't mind if we borrow their coats, said Jack. Maybe we should give them our towels. To thank them, said Annie. Good idea, said Jack. And my goggles, too. They left their gifts on top of the rest of the animal skins. Let's explore the cave before they come home, said Jack. It's too dark in the back, said Annie. We won't be able to see anything. Well, said Jack, I'll find out how Cro-Magnons saw in the dark. He opened the Ice Age book and he found a picture of cave people holding odd-looking lamps. He read aloud to Annie. Cro-Magnons made stone lamps. They hollowed out their rocks and filled it with animal fat. then burned a wick made from moss. There, said Annie. She pointed to 2 stones near the fire. In the hollow of each was gooey white stuff and a pile of moss. We have to be careful, said Jack. He picked up one stone. It was smaller than a soup bowl, but much heavier. Jack held the stone close to the fire and lit the piece of moss. He lit another lamp and gave it to Annie. Carry it with 2 hands, he said. I know, she said. Jack tucked the book under his arm, and he and Annie carried their stone lamps to the back of the cave. Hey, I wonder where this goes, said Annie. She held her lamp up to an opening in the wall. I'll check in the book, said Jack. He put down his lamp and flipped through the Ice Age book. I think it's a tunnel, she said. Be right back. Wait a second, said Jack. Too late. She had squeezed into the opening and was gone. Oh, brother, said Jack, sighing. He closed his book and peeked into the opening. Come back here, he said. No, you come here, said Annie. Her voice sounded far away. You won't believe this. Jack picked up his lamp and book. He ducked into a small tunnel. Wow, came Annie's voice. Jack could see her flickering light at the end. Crouching down, he hurried towards her. At the end of the tunnel was a huge cavern with a high ceiling. Annie held her lamp close to the wall. Look, she said. Her voice echoed. Animals were painted on the wall in strokes of red, black, and yellow. There were cave bears and lions, elk and reindeer, bison and woolly rhinos and mammoths. In the flickering light, the prehistoric beasts looked alive. And that is where we're going to stop. We're ready for Chapter 5 tomorrow. Chapter 5 is called Snow Tracks. So I hope you enjoy. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.